Hey, Michelle Cederberg here, pausing to talk to you about busyness. I don't know about you, but I've been having a lot of conversations lately with my clients, with my colleagues, friends, family, my audience members around busyness and this feeling like the pace of life is just ramping up. And sometimes it feels like we just can't stay on top of it. If you feel like that at any point, I just want you to pause right now and ponder your schedule. Ponder all the things that you take on in a day, all the things that you say yes to, all the things that you're responsible for. How far are you stretched? And here's the clincher. What's causing it? Now you may be saying, well, I have to work and I have to do all these things. And part of our busyness is certainly the things that we're responsible for. But in many ways, if we could simply become present to our schedules and the things that we're saying yes to, we can manage overwhelm. Life is going to happen every single day, whether we think about it or not, but it's worth thinking about, and here's why. The world, in all of its craziness and chaos and technological connectedness, is demanding more from us than it ever has, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You can think about the way that technology takes over our lives these days. It's connecting us 24/7. It's distracting us, disconnecting us from real interactions. There's a lot of good that comes from it, but there's a lot of things that we need to be mindful for. That technology also gives us an inundation of news from around the world, and a lot of it's not good. Politics and war and poverty and racism and terrorism and climate change, and some days it can be so depressing to be connected. All of that is on top of just living your life, raising your families, caring for aging parents, getting to work, dealing with longer commutes and longer work days, trying to fit in fitness, trying to have a little downtime. The word that comes to mind is capital O, overwhelm, which brings about feelings of tension and stress, and that's not fun for any of us. But it seems to be a part of our lives, so I thought I would share 3 ways to shift from overwhelm to opportunity and feel a little less stress and a little more joy. Sounds good to me. So number 1, and it's a tough one for people, to pause and recognize overwhelm when you feel it. We can push through, but it's not always going to serve us. Recognize when you feel it and identify why. Yes, it could be because you're working on a big project. More on that in a moment. But more often than not, we add to our overwhelm because we've got too much screen time and not enough family time, because we're saying yes to things when we should be saying no, because we're skipping that break, because we're not exercising, because we're not being mindful of what we need physically, mentally, and emotionally. You can't ride that overwhelm wave indefinitely. At some point, you've got to breathe, pause, and think about what's causing that overwhelm. Which brings me to number 2, because it's not always a bad thing. In the overwhelm, I want you to find the opportunity that's connected with it. When we're working hard towards something good, that can bring overwhelm. And so for you, when you feel that overwhelm, yes, recognize what you could be doing better, but also recognize the win that is contributing to that tension. Right now I'm feeling overwhelmed because I'm working really hard to finish book number 2 in the next few months. It means I'm getting up early. It means my brain is constantly processing information, and I'm finding myself really having to dig down and prioritize my work. It's a good thing, and I'm excited about it. It's overwhelming, but I want to recognize the opportunity that's connected to that overwhelm, because somewhere between those 2 things, somewhere between overwhelm and opportunity, you've got 2 choices that will make or break success. The first one is that you could curl up in a ball and let overwhelm win. So if you're not taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, the likelihood of that happening goes up. Or you can lean towards the opportunity and double down your efforts with one adjustment, which brings me to number 3. All of those self-care tactics, all of those mindfulness moments that we push aside when life gets busy, we got to hold on tight to those things so that when we get into that overwhelm, we have the wherewithal to lean towards the opportunity. Remember, the overwhelm shows up because you're working towards something good. Don't let overwhelm win. Choose to sleep more. Choose to text less. exercise more, say yes to the right things, make sure you're getting the right kind of fuel and taking the types of breaks that you need, that you're feeding productivity and pushing that overwhelm down just a little bit. Nurture opportunity. Overwhelm is always going to be in our lives, and you have a choice every single day about how you can manage that space between overwhelm and opportunity. And I hope what I've shared here today will give you some sense of what you're capable of. Until next time, I'm reminding you to subscribe to my YouTube, get on my social and find me there for daily tips on Twitter and Instagram, and take time for yourself in the midst of all the overwhelm. You got one chance at this big, fabulous life. I say, dare to live it big.